It's currently December the 2nd. It is 9:57 and I am up writing yet another paper for the millionth time. This is all going towards my master's degree that no one really knows I'm getting. Woo, I am tired. I am busting my butt on a daily basis. Also, if this video is being made, that means I made it and I'm done. Cannot wait. I just took, oh my gosh, my last final and aced it, of course. Thank you, God. Alright, you guys, y'all are all up in my face. I'm gonna put on this headband so it's out of our way. I already did brows and lashes, and now we can get to the face. Also, look at my nails. I am high-key obsessed. Like, oh my gosh, my nail tech does not miss. All right, so I'm gonna just talk you through the first few products because this is a chit chat, get ready with me. This is not a tutorial, but I'm using this e.l.f. Glow Radiant Moisturizer with SPF in it. Yeah, so going in with this. And so then I'm of course going in with my Jelly Dew Primer. Love this primer so much. If you find this primer in stock, sweetie, you gotta grab it, because when I tell you this primer is so good, like so good, so good. But let's get into the content of this video because we have some things to discuss. So I've been in grad school as you saw, and no one really knew. And this is the, if I can remember to tell y'all what I'm using, I'll let y'all know. This is the Juvia stick foundation in Cameroon, but no, wrong top. So I've been in grad school, and I'll tell you how I got to this process because I think that's important. So I completed and graduated from undergrad in May of 2018. And I will be completely honest, I never had any plans to go to grad school. On my graduation day, when some family members were asking me like, oh, okay, like what's next? Do you want to go to grad school or do you want to get straight to work? I was like, grad school? Nah, sis. I was just not with it. And so a year later, literally just about a year later, in May of 2019, I thought to myself like, okay, I think I want to go to grad school. And I talked it over with my mom to see what she thought. This was around like Mother's Day, I want to say. Yeah, this was around Mother's Day, and I just basically just talked it over with her. You know, she's my best friend, so we talk about any and everything, and she did what she always does, which is encourage me, tells me I can do literally anything, and she fully supports me. She never, there's not a time that she doesn't support me. So I just really wanted to just get her input. And I also had to factor in the fact that I had a full-time job, and I'm not used to work and school simultaneously. During my undergrad college career, I only had one real job, and I got that job. I was a teller at Regions Bank, and honestly, I was only a teller there for a few short months because I got it as a summer job, and then when school started back up, I decided to keep the job because I was making really good money. And the gag is, like, my mom, my family did not want me to work in school. They told me school was my job and they provided for me. I didn't have any wants or needs in college, you know, which I'm blessed to say that because I know a lot of people struggle in college, but that wasn't, you know, that just wasn't my story. And I just got a job out of boredom, really, and just decided to keep it going into my senior year. And then my senior year started, and 2 weeks in, my boyfriend got shot, which if you've been following me, then you already know. Well, I've never did a dedicated video to what happened, like a story time or anything like that, because at the time it was an ongoing investigation, and I couldn't really come on here and tell you exactly what happened because, like I said, it was an ongoing investigation. Like, it was on the news, it was like a whole thing. So it wasn't something I could really put on the internet, you know. I could say my boyfriend got shot, but the whens, the wheres, the hows, I couldn't really speak on. And one day I might come and talk about that because that was a huge part of my life. It changed my life forever. Which, I mean, I guess I can say, so the shooting happened 2 weeks into my senior year, September 1st, 2017. And I was only at this job for maybe 3-4 months, and I ended up having to quit because I had therapy and I couldn't do work, therapy, and school, basically, in a nutshell. So I'm not really used to working and having school. And then I also had to think about the fact that this isn't undergrad, this is grad school, and the expectations of me are gonna be higher. The work is gonna be much more arduous. And so I just thought about all of those things that come into play in grad school, and the fact that I, under all circumstances, had to maintain a 3.0 grade point average, which a lot of MBA programs do. So it wasn't just my program, but it's a common thing for you to have to do that. And I don't know if it's specifically the online programs, but the online programs I, you know, was looking at, you had to maintain a 3.0 throughout your tenure at in your program. So I applied to one school, got in, and everything was cool. So this was I had everything pretty much squared away to start school in August by maybe the middle of June. So I really worked pretty quick. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna, like, you know, lollygag. So I applied, got in, had everything squared away, and I was ready to start school in August. I remember I had a really fun girls trip to New York, like right before I was about to start grad school, and I just basked in my freedom because I didn't know what life was about to be like. So the program that I originally started with, it was a 15-month program, and I was studying business administration. I was getting my MBA in business administration. So I started that in August, and then in around September, I worked with one of my line sisters from school, and she was telling me about an online program she did with our alma mater and how it was in marketing, which to me was interesting because marketing was what I always wanted my MBA to be in. But when I was looking for online programs from reputable schools, I just wasn't finding any, and that was so odd to me. And I was looking, like, all the colleges around me in Louisiana. I did not want to do like a random, you know, those schools that be coming on TV. I didn't want that. I wanted to make sure that I went to a school that, you know, I knew it was accredited, you know, that whole thing. So she told me about it. I looked into it, and I was like, oh shoot, like, it was an accelerated program, and it was a 10-month program. I was currently in a 15-month program. They had the marketing, which was what I really wanted to do. That was what I was passionate about. And the price was relatively the same. There was like maybe a $300 to $500 difference in tuition, which what's that? So I decided to make the decision kind of mid-semester to try to get into this other program. And that process was crazy. It took me so long. It was a lot of back and forth between both administrative offices. The program I was already in didn't want to give me my documents, my paperwork, all that. Mind you, I had paid out of pocket for those classes, so I missed out on that money. But it was the sacrifice I made to be in a program that I really, really loved. And I do not regret my decision, you know. So that was that. I got accepted into my program on a Friday. School was Monday. Like, that's how ridiculous of a time it was. And it wasn't because I didn't meet the qualifications or anything like that. It was really a matter of, like, the first school tried to tell the other school I was trying to transfer to that I wasn't a student. And I'm like, I was a student when y'all took that $3,000 from me. I have access to Moodle. I'm in 2 classes right now. Like, what are you even saying? Like, it was just so much mess trying to have everything together for the transfer. That's what took so long. So I finally got my acceptance on a Friday. School started that Monday. I was super stressed, but sorry guys, but God made a way, and I just prayed and I was focused, and that was it. And so another thing I wanted to touch on was a lot of people, not my mom, but like when I registered, and even when I registered for the first institution, they asked me did I have a full-time job. I said yes, and they were like, well, we suggest that you take one class because, you know, grad school is a very tedious thing and you must maintain a 3.0, and we just think it's always best for our full-time students to take one class at a time. And I let them know I'm capable, I can do this, and I'm taking 2 classes. Because if I didn't take the 2 classes, it would have taken more than 10 months, and I already have my mind set on 10 months of this, and then I'm back to freedom, and I wasn't having it any other way. Plus, I know what I'm capable of, so I wasn't gonna let them pressure me. Mind you, this was both programs tried to persuade me to take only 1 class, and I just had to let them know I got this. Literally, I got it. So that was that. I started my program, and my process to get to this point, grad school was a lot. And then when 2020 hit, y'all, it was like the world was in shambles. There was a specific period of time where I just felt so like I couldn't focus, and that was during, of course, we've been in this pandemic since like March. But during that period of time when there was constant rioting, protesting, looting, I was so emotionally drained that I was like, I don't know. Like it was so hard for me to focus on what I had going on with school. And I was like, you know, I was very stressed over it because I was like, I'm so close. Because I knew I was always going to be graduating, you know, in August. And the riots and stuff, I feel, what was that, like May, June, something like that, May, June-ish. So I knew I was super close to the finish line, but I was like, man, I don't know. But I just prayed and prayed for God to give me focus and help me through this period, and things did get better. So yeah. And then this last semester for me, oh, so I also wanted to point out that my program was 7 week courses because it was super accelerated. So I had 7 week courses, 1 week in between each 7 weeks. And you know, usually like in undergrad you have a fall semester and a spring semester, but in an accelerated MBA program it's 2 semesters in 1. So my fall was, I had fall 1, fall 2, spring 1, spring 2, summer 1, summer 2. And long story short, honestly, everything went well. God's grace, I finished with a 3.9. Do you want to guess the classes that kept me from a 4.0? I'll let you guess for a second. I'll just let you guess. It was 2 classes that I made a B in. And I was at first, when I made my first B, that was my second to last semester. So I was kind of upset because I was like, I made it this far with all A's. But I was like, you know what, Morgan, for one, a B is not a bad grade. Okay, y'all, my camera cut off while I was finishing up this look. But all I did was use my this setting spray by e.l.f. I used my same highlighter I always use, the Wet n Wild, and I used this Juvia's Place combo. This is their lip pencil. Both of these are from their new collections. They have lip liners, lip glosses, and lipsticks. I bought something from all 3, but this is Cola in the lip pencil and Barely There in the gloss. And that completes this look. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, but I just want to close out this video and say, yes, grad school was such a hard process for me. It was definitely not exactly what I expected, but I knew what I was getting myself into, and I'm just so blessed and happy that I finally made it over the hill. And I would encourage anyone who is thinking about it, really just give yourself the opportunity to go for your goal, because you can do anything that you put your mind to. For the few people who did know, thank you so much publicly. Thank you so much for your support. And yeah, you guys, I will see y'all in the next video.